Well, YouTube, I didn't click start stream, but I guess I'm streaming. So hello, everybody. Uh, I guess I'll tell people that I'm streaming now. Let me find a link. Good job, YouTube. Good thing I'm not running around naked. All right, everybody. Let's get some people on this thing. Let's find the link. Sorry to be slow. I didn't mean to start right now. Gotta tell everybody. All right, Telegram's been told, Slacks have been told, Discord's been told, Twitter's been told. I think that's it. Maybe even YouTube was nice enough to drop a mention to my subs as well. Let's scroll through, see what kind of chats we got here. Good morning, sir. Richard, greetings. What up, homie? Lol, I didn't know this would be broadcasting already. Oh, that was me. I typed that. Where do I get the crazy suits from? This suit's actually funny. This is my favorite suit top, and I like it better than Armani and Versace. And it's actually like the kind of clothes that you would find in like a terrible chav store in the UK. So where you would buy like 1 million Affliction shirts and, you know, just crazy nightclub wear. For some reason, this jacket was there, which was odd. I was like, wow, I didn't expect there to be something amazing in this place, but there was. I was able to get some nice jackets from there, but the shirts didn't fit me, but the jacket surely did. I mean, it's really hard to get a good textured black jacket where the texture is like thick enough where you could see it at a distance. You get lots of like tightly knit, good material jackets, but you can't see them at a distance. So, I mean, unless people are already well within your personal space, they just don't have a good impact. Interesting. Well, I'm not going to share with you my secrets on where I can get even crazier clothes. I'm going to keep those to myself. What do I think about Bitmain only accepting Bcash? Well, I think that they'll go out of business, right? I mean, that would be like, not out of business, but imagine if you only accepted Russian currency, or if you only accepted some other currency that no one has or no one wants to use. It would hurt your business, right? It's just another barrier to doing business with you. So it's hard enough to get your customers to know you exist. It's hard enough to set prices that they want to interact with you on. And then now you're going to make them use a currency that they don't really want to use and may not have. It's a little silly. I mean, What's the difference between accepting Bcash and Dogecoin? Dogecoin has more people that are used to spending it. Dogecoin has done real, more real actual transactions. I mean, I could make the case that accepting Dogecoin would harm your business less than accepting Bcash, a coin that's existed for a month, maybe. What do we got here? Will Ethereum make it? Sure, everything will make it. The price will just go down a lot because their only use case, ICOs, are getting banned in country after country after country. So if you already had a super high peak and your only use case is getting banned everywhere and you're getting hacked all the time and your founders are all moving on to do other projects that don't add liquidity to the coin that you bought, you're screwed. So, I think Ethereum's price is going to go a whole lot lower. And as soon as they get tired of defending 0.7, that's it. Someone is defending 0.7. Not exactly sure whether it's like a jewel thief and they're like taking leverage on to their existing hoard to like defend the price of the hoard that they're not locking up. Like there's all kinds of ways to protect yourself from speculative attacks and like getting people to get short squeezed. So there's some irrational protection of the 0.07 number. And when that falls, there will eventually be a race for the exits. And the ICO guys, maybe they can like keep their cabal of like holding the price wherever it is now, but at some point they just can't. As you add more members and more ICOs to that party, at some point the Ethereum goes down and goes down a lot. I mean, I've seen Vitalik himself on live stream with his developers say, if the price goes down, it is going to go down a lot. That's his words on a live stream dev chat meetup on YouTube, say maybe a month and a half. I can't really keep track of time. I don't have a good head for time. I just work constantly. So it's all a blur to me. Scrolling down. I came to the stream drunk with a fake ID. Nice. Richard, review another board. I will. I'm deciding which one. I've got like 40 keyboards or 50 or, some very, very large number of keyboards. I'm not sure which one I'll do next. Good thing you have clothes and such. Yeah. I don't know exactly why this started streaming when it did. I didn't click anything in the YouTube interface, so I guess it just activates on demand when my broadcasting software tells it to. That could have worked out poorly. How about Bitcoin? Yep. Wall Street's coming, going to the moon. Will Ethereum collapse in 2018? I answered that. Are those Versace pajamas? Yes, they were. I left a link in the video to Harrods where you could buy them. On down the list. Let's talk about BCC. Covered it. You popping up on my iPad from a sleep or standby mode. Well, thank you, iPad people. I'm glad to see you supporting Mr. Hart. Will the US ban ICOs? No, they've already given a public position on that. The people that are in charge of that stuff have already said some things are bad and some things aren't bad, and it's case by case. Any thoughts on Bitcoin Gold? It seems like a pre-mined shitcoin, but if it's a pre-mined shitcoin that they're going to give you for free, just don't fall for the freemium. When somebody gives you a coupon, it's not because they love you, it's because they want your money. When someone gives you a free coin, it's not because they love you, it's because they want your money. So, be careful. Take the free stuff, but don't add to your position. It's my position that if you care about the security of real Bitcoin, that you should dump free Trojan horse coins on site to punish people that try and take away miners or take away mine space from your project. And in this case, it's a little different because it's a different proof of work. So it's not really taking away miners. Regardless, I mean, you really don't want to put too much energy in things that take away from the core thing that you're participating in, There is a finite amount of consciousness. So the consciousness economy kind of rewards you centralizing your efforts on the one thing that's the best thing. I think I got your referral from BitMEX is really nice to go long on BTC. You know, the thing I like about BitMEX is that if you're going to put money on an exchange and risk it there, because my belief is that all exchanges will be hacked, well, then the exchange that gives you the highest like margin multiplier, right? Like you can go 100x there. I wouldn't suggest you do that, but you can. And what that means is in order to hold a position, you can put in 100 times less money than you'd have to put somewhere else with a lower multiplier. So it basically allows you to like reasonably reduce the risk of counterparty failure in an exchange by 20, 50 times, 10 times, depends on where you set your multiplier at. I mean, that's just 10, 20, 30, 40 times less money that you've got to leave someplace that might get hacked. Somebody asks, why is Roger Ver so evil? I don't think Roger's evil. I think he like, I don't think Roger's evil. You know, if someone decides that they want to put their money and time and effort into some other project, that's up to them. I mean, if someone believes that some other thing can be better, then that's their right to go promote that thing. So I don't think Roger is evil at all. Scrolling down. Why are people attaching your name to these and other videos? I don't know. People hate. People are mad. Like if you're like I don't really care about followers because I don't have anything to sell you. So I gave away my book for free. You know, I give away my knowledge for free. I could probably charge some $1,000s an hour for this stuff to people that are startups in the space, or just go and start like getting percentages on companies by being an advisor. I could do lots of things to generate revenue if I wanted to, but none of them would really be from chat or Twitter. Like what could you guys give me? Yeah, like you can't give me money if you want to. So people hate, you know. I came out of nowhere and decided to just start saying my ideas, and I've got 100 new followers a day, you know, without trying. You know, I don't buy ads. I don't really do much to promote this stuff. I just turn the stream on and talk smack about stuff I care about and I believe in and I'm passionate about. And that really pisses some people off. You know, some people really, really, really care about 7,000 followers. I have no idea why. Everyone else has 700,000. I guess they're stupid, bad at marketing, you know? If I wanted a lot of followers, I could, and probably will just for fun, have a sweepstakes. You know, hey, make a cool meme of Richard, win XYZ BTC. That's probably worth 10,000 subs. But why do I care? Like, what am I going to do with more subs? Give you guys more free knowledge? Ooh, I can make you guys so smart. Yeah, I'd rather do or build almost anything else. I'd rather be working on a useful proof of work token, or be working on my book, or sitting on a beach somewhere. Like, this is not the risk reward profit loss on doing media is garbage, truly garbage. The only way that you can make money in media is if you have a huge audience. And the only way you can have a huge audience is to have nothing to do with crypto, nothing. Because this audience is tiny as fuck, and there's no women in it. And how big can your audience be if 52%, 51% of the human population ain't interested? Yeah, but if you choose to do media in the crypto space, you've made a huge financial mistake. You better be in it for something other than money. This keyboard, this is a Tex Yoda track point, PBT, dye sublimated zebra print, and these are OG PBT original cherry mold keycaps, and the switches are cherry clears that have had the springs swapped out for cherry browns, which are about 45 grams. It's got a USB hub on it. It's aluminum. It's very, very heavy. You can't buy these in the store. You got to build them. So How resilient is Bitcoin? Actually, the direct quote is, shows how resilient Bitcoin is. Yeah, Bitcoin is resilient. I mean, it's died, what, 100 times? If you're taking altcoin questions, what are my thoughts on Civic? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it sets out to be a cryptocurrency, so it's like an app coin. So if you need the app, great. I don't know anyone that really needs it. Maybe one day they'll pivot into a lot of people needing it somehow. What if two users generate the same private keys? Well, that would be called a collision, and due to statistics, collisions are very, 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 very rare. So, I mean, it might be more likely, and you could check the math on this, it might be more likely that someone else is born with identically your DNA than it is that two people generate the same Bitcoin key. I would be curious to look at the different scales on that. Like which one's more complicated? I'm going to guess that the biological one has more complexity in it, but it is just data and it is measurable. And so, you know, you could mathematically relate what's more likely, that someone else has the same Bitcoin private key as you, or that someone else is born with exactly the same DNA. They're both so unlikely that it's basically fan fiction to do the comparison. What's my go-to cologne? I wear a lot of different colognes. I basically, when I go to the cologne store, I smell all of them. So you have to take a break every once in a while and use like coffee beans to reset your olfactory system. And yeah, like if you want a deal, like I think you guys are broke. I think you're a bunch of broke dudes. So I'm gonna tell you where to get a deal. Zara has great perfumes for really affordable. And they smell really good. There's some Zara perfumes which I like better than the most expensive ones I've got. So I'm a function over form guy, kind of. So if a thing is awesome and yet not expensive, I'm still buying it because awesome's awesome, and you know, price is just whatever. Can Bitcoin survive a sub 3K dip? Sure, why not? We could survive. Like, yeah, who cares? Do you really care what the dip is if you ain't selling anyway? Like the only time you really, really care about what the price is if you're buying or selling. If you're not buying or selling, you know, price goes up, price goes down, doesn't matter that much. I mean, I could make a longer statement regarding like cascades and first mover advantages and consciousness economy, but I don't feel like going into all that. Good morning, Richard. Blake Anderson says, I broke the Bitmain story. Well done, sir. Cool story. Yeah, somebody says, unless someone discovers the seed you use to generate your private key. Yeah, just so you know, guys, like private keys aren't always generated by seeds. If you've been in Bitcoin as long as I have, you remember when there was no such thing as a seed. So like HD wallets, hierarchical deterministic wallets, they used to not exist. So not every private key has to be or is generated by seeds, just so you know. Why are me, yeah. Somebody asked, why are me and D-Bag not good anymore? Well, I have big dreams and I want to do things with my life. And unless I have massive impact, I'm not happy. So 7K subs is garbage. Wasting your time on YouTube is garbage. Giving away your smarts for free is garbage. Having no product to give anyone or sell anyone or make anyone's life better with is garbage. And so I'm not happy. My state of failure, like my complete and total like unhappiness with my own performance, for some reason, is like other people's best outcome. Like it's what they would have hoped for. I find that tragic and have been, you know, repeatedly from first words onward, a utilitarian who cares about making an impact and making a difference in the lives of your loved ones and yourself. you know? The only way you can help your family and yourself is to get other people to help themselves. It's just like Bitcoin. Oh, you bought Bitcoin, but you're the only guy that did it? Okay, well, that's not a currency. Oh, you know, you want to save your life, but we're all made of the same meat? Well, then everyone else needs to save their lives, right? And you've only got so much time. So if you measure, I mean, I've been posting a lot on Twitter. Maybe to some degree I've helped the ecosystem. Maybe to some degree I've gotten people to do less risky stuff. Maybe to some degree the price has reflected my positive efforts. But it's also the case that it was a huge waste of my time. And I could have done almost anything else. And I don't know. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. Satoshi used to work on Bitcoin. And then Gavin decided to do an interview with the CIA, and he was never seen again or heard of again. So to some degree, Satoshi isn't here because the people that he was working with did some shit that he wasn't happy about. And then Gavin himself was working on the project and had people working alongside him, and now he's not. And to some degree, the reason he's not is because people that were working alongside him did some shit he wasn't happy with. And the same goes for Mike Hearn. And the same might go for me. So, you know, I've done everything I can to help this community. Written guides, you know, made price calls, put my social capital next to statements that I pay personal risk for. You know, if you say bad things about Roger Ver that owns Bitcoin.com, boy, you know, what if he decides to get mad at you? That's a risk. That man has actual power. Unlike most of the other little talking, flappy lip little bitches in the space that have no power, you know, Roger Ver is a winner. He creates things. He builds things. He invests in things. That's a fucking winner. So I may disagree with some of his projects, but overall, that guy's net win. And when I do what appears to be public combat with a winner, you know, what's my upside? Some fucking losers decide that I'm cool? I'm not okay with that trade, you know? So my point is, a lot of people that are in the Bitcoin space leave it because there's a bunch of shit-talking losers in the space that don't actually build stuff or get stuff done. I mean, the thing I want in my chat for the most part is developers because they build things. What's the rarest commodity in the ecosystem? Is it people that make memes? Nope. Is it people that make price calls or trade? Nope. Is it people with opinions about SegWit 2x? Nope. The rarest commodity in the cryptocurrency ecosystem is the developers because they're the only people that actually build anything. So as far as I'm concerned, like the only short-term good thing that I can think of that would come of the public outreach that I've done for me personally is getting more good developers that want to work with me on building cool stuff. That's it. So I guess the answer is there's a bunch of fair weather friend, like sellout, jealous, angry dudes out there. And if you wouldn't have these problems if you weren't associating with ineffective people in the first place. And Bitcoin, if you want your ecosystem to work better, you got to start showing the people that are on your team that there's a reason to be on your team instead of just switching sides. I mean, can anyone here say that Gavin didn't have a better life by switching to the axis of evil over there? He probably did, right? So how many, if you keep giving people incentives to switch over to worse projects because they get treated better as humans, man, like you're gonna lose more and more people, right? It's odd. I wouldn't call it a tragedy commons. There's some other weird thing going on, but I see a distinct lack of community and lack of like working together. Like I shouldn't have been able to make an impact in the space at all. I shouldn't have been able to come from nowhere and then matter so quickly. But I was able to do that because there's a huge vacuum. Like no one else gives a shit to put in effort so much, right? Like World Crypto Network is probably the most try to make good content, you know, often. And those guys got to beg for money from the community. So the community sucks. This community sucks ass, right? Like The World Crypto Network should have more money donated to them because they're the only people trying. And there should be someone else way cooler than me, spreading the good word. Anyway, on down the list. My true identity being shady. I love this. So let me tell you about the Bitcoin community, right? I made a lot of money in Florida on many, many, many businesses, right? I've been a success since I started my first business out of my front yard. So I started a car stereo store out of my front yard because I had a tooth break and I had to get my tooth fixed. And my father didn't have money and I didn't have money. And so it was either not have my tooth fixed or sell everything I owned and gather up the money to get it fixed. So I put out ads in the local newspaper and in the bargain trader for all of the car stereo equipment that I had bought over, my years when I was a young kid. I think I was maybe 18, 19 at the time. And I discovered that the prices that I was able to get for this stuff were basically what I paid for it, except I'd bought it 2 years earlier. And so I said to myself, oh, well, that's easy. If I can sell stuff that's used after 2 years for the same price I bought it for, I must be getting a really, really good deal. So I said, okay, well, what if I put out ads for stuff that I can get, but I don't have yet? And I had a connection through my father. My father did air conditioning for a guy that worked at a big store. And he said, hey, we can give you cost on this stuff. And so I put out the ads, people would call me, and I would spend all day driving back and forth from this giant store to delivering to people the stuff that they wanted. And then after I did that for, I guess, a couple months, I had enough money to have an inventory. And then I didn't have to drive as often. I could drive maybe once or twice a week. And then after I did that for a while, I was installing stuff in people's cars. And my father was like, look, you're working all day and all night. When he gets home from work, he wants to just be able to enjoy his life and not have customers of mine out front. So he's like, you got to get a store. And I think my first store was $1,200 a month, I think it was $1,200 a month rent. And then I had a girlfriend and Pops didn't want me, messing around with my girlfriend in the house. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm moving into my store. So, I moved out of my dad's house into my first store, 21 years old, I think, 20, 21, something like that. So then I lived there and hired my friends. And I was lucky because I went to a super genius school where everyone was really, really, really smart. I was one of the dumber people in my school. And so I guess I'll tell you about my school. So when I was in elementary school, they pulled me out of class and had me do this test with blocks. And I think I was only in elementary school for maybe 2 days before they moved me to a different elementary school that was all black. I was one of 6 or 7% white kids there, which is why I talk different than some other white people sometimes, because I grew up in a different environment. And in this school, we had a super, 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 super amazing gifted teacher where I learned real science and real creative writing, and it was absolutely fantastic. And it was just a gifted program. And so while I was at that school, I got third place in a math tournament thing. It was fifth, actually. And then I think I got third place in a writing thing with a story called George the Fish. I didn't want to write the stupid story, but they made me do it. So I just oh, what's the dumbest thing I can write about? Okay, what's the dumbest name? I don't like the name George. All right, I'll use George. All right, George the Fish. And I just wrote a story about a fish swimming along and seeing something shiny and taking a bite and then being drug out of the water. And for some reason, my attempt at making something that I didn't want to do stupid, people liked a lot. And it was at that point that I discovered that people will read into what you've written things that were not there. And so many authors hear so many great analyses of what they've written, and in reality, they had no intention to write that way at all. But they're like, oh, sure, yeah, that sounds good, yeah, because people are pattern finding machines, and they're going to find patterns. Anyway, so I have a car stereo store. It's working good. And I have a buddy that used to go to a super genius school with me, and he made shopping cart software. And then I sold his shopping cart software on eBay as you want to go into the business of selling websites. Well, this has an automated website builder and shopping cart and email system and payment gateway built in and all that stuff. And then, that sold. And then I got into search engine optimization. And at the time, you could really just read Webmaster World, understand Spoken Hub, understand PageRank. It was the time when the world had transitioned from basically meta tag spamming, which everyone just ignored. Like basically, if you put what you want in your meta tags and I was in charge of the engine, I would subtract that from your score. Because, you want to rank for these things? Well, therefore, you're probably going to be shady about it, and therefore I have to treat you as like an antagonistic actor. And so I would probably penalize people for putting words in their meta tags, because all I care about is what other people say about you. So that's what PageRank is. PageRank is what other people say about you. So once I learned how PageRank worked, I started internetmarketingmasters.com, and I think this was 2002. Well, I know it was 2002 because I looked at the Wayback Machine. And we did pay-per-click management on what was at the time GoTo, which then changed their name to Overture, and they were in charge of all the traffic for Yahoo, which was huge at the time. And then Google didn't even have a pay-per-click program at the time. They didn't have AdWords, and they didn't have like a bidding engine and all that stuff, and that's where all their money comes from now. So it was a really different world back then. So I learned how to do pay-per-click management, I learned how to do SEO, and we got clients that were successful. We had mortgage clients, we had other clients, and with the mortgages, I went and started my own mortgage company, became a licensed mortgage broker, generated leads, used leads, tried to make a website called leadfeeds.com, which would allow you to bid on leads the same way that people were bidding on clicks, which I thought was a pretty good idea. Had a foreclosure bailout company, sex toy store, miracle cleaner, cash advance loans. What else? I'm sure I'm missing something. A lot of stuff, right? And on a media side, we had affiliate programs where people would sign up and get paid a commission. And if you join an affiliate program, you market however you want, right? If you're a guy that has an opt-in email list, great. If you're a guy that does print marketing, great. If you're a guy that does radio, it doesn't really work, but whatever. If you're a guy that has other affiliates and wants to be a second-tier affiliate, things like that, it worked out really, really well. And so that worked out great. Had 150 employees. Figured I'd move on with my life. So moved down to a third world, bought a mansion, got the shit robbed out of me. Now, if you move to the third world and you get the shit robbed out of you, the worst part about getting robbed isn't just the loss of money, but it's also that they're going to attack your identity, and they're going to try and talk shit about you and make you not want to pursue them to get your stuff back. So if someone, for instance, if you lend a friend money and he doesn't want to pay you back, he's not only going to not pay you back, he's going to tell all your other friends what a piece of shit you are, because it fits his narrative that you're a piece of shit, so that he can feel better internally about not paying you. And the other people that are in your friend circle are also okay with him not paying you. So the mission is to not get robbed. Now, since I've done so much business, I've had every type of robbery you can think of. I've had people looking over shoulders to steal contacts. I've had hard drives go stolen. I've had actual Secret Service at the office, guns pulled out. I had to pull my gun out. I'll tell that story sometime. It's exciting. That was over credit card fraud. I've had smash and grab, like mace my front office, run with equipment out of the front door. I've had straight up make a copy of my website and compete directly against me and like call my customers. I've had Joe Job. I'll tell you about Joe Job. So if you piss off certain people, like a spammer will gather up every piece of personal information he can find about you, and he'll write the most offensive, angering email that he can write, and then he'll send it to all the people that he thinks will respond the most harshly to it, which would be reporters, customer service agents, like whatever people really don't like spam, right? So this happened to me. Some guy took all the information that he could find and then spammed out my name and my information along with it to try and create problems for me. And here's the funny part. The public, and probably some of you guys watching, are so fucking stupid. that you believe that guy. You're like, yeah, this looks good. I've never ever seen an email with anyone's personal contact information all in it before, but this one looks good. Stupid motherfuckers. I had another guy who I started supporting charity. I've been trying to like support longevity, anti-aging charities forever because 200,000 people a day die from it, which is more than like anything else. And so I did this video for the Methuselah Foundation, which was, trying to get people to live longer. And someone just straight made a copy of the video and then in the text put, Richard's a piece of shit, scumbag. No data, like not why is Richard a scumbag or who are all of Richard's victims. None of that stuff, because there aren't any, right? Like that leap of logic would require someone to think. But apparently if you're an asshole and you just want to defame somebody or libel them, it's too hard to come up with a compelling like story with like verbs in it. So basically the content is Richard sucks. Sucks is an adjective, but then there's no verb. Like why does Richard suck? Silence, right? But the internet is so goddamn stupid that they look at stupid bullshit written by criminals to try and make me look bad. And they're like, yep, I believe this. What? So on the internet, if you scam somebody, you know what there's no shortage of? People reporting the scam and being very pissed off about it. Very pissed off. And the people that are very pissed off say their name, say why they're pissed off, and say who they're pissed off at. Very, very simple, right? Take Butterfly Labs. How many people were upset at Butterfly Labs? Lots. Could you find these people? Yes. Would they tell you why they were mad? Yes. Okay. How many people are mad at Richard? Nobody. Okay. Who's Richard stolen from? How much money does Richard want from you? That's crickets, right? I don't want your money. You can't give me your money if you want to. I've been living an honest fucking life for a really long time, giving people what they want and making them happy. But the internet's such a bunch of player-hating scumbags that if it fits their narrative, they'll believe fucking anything. So, not very happy with the internet. Not very happy with the fair weather friends bullshit. On down the list I go. Will Bcash's constant mining difficulty decrease? I don't know. Is Bcash a threat to Bitcoin? No. It's a garbage fire. They don't find, like, no. It's terrible. Litecoin is script and memory intensive hashing. I'm not sure how memory intensive scrypt is, but yeah, I'm not sure that scrypt is memory hard there. But if Blake says it, he's probably right. So I'll just defer to him. Do I keep normal sleeping hours? I don't do polyphasic. I don't do that. I tried it. It didn't work. I just sleep whenever I'm tired and wake up whenever I wake up. I don't use alarms or anything like that, which is also why I never know what time it is, because I just don't care. It's not like I have appointments or meetings. That'll change soon, but currently I don't. Why are there so many diamonds in the background? I don't know. Shit looks cool. Like, don't you like stuff that looks cool? Veritasium? I don't know. It's a very charismatic, muscular, intelligent gentleman with a project that does, from what I can tell, nothing. So, seems like a cool guy with a useless project? I don't know. Not an expert on it. I don't have time to read about every stupid thing. What's the best way to grow your Bitcoin? Don't try to grow your Bitcoin. You'll lose it. Be happy. Don't try to grow your Bitcoin. I mean, if you really want to, you can you can go long, right? So if you go on my Twitter, there's a link there for a 10% discount for 6 months on BitMEX. And basically, if you really want to grow your Bitcoin, you could get margin, go 2x to 5x long, and then, you're multiplying the moves up and you're multiplying the moves down. But since Bitcoin seems to move up a lot more than it does down, it should work out. The trick is to not get stopped out. So as you increase your leverage, the chance that you get knocked out of the game gets higher and higher. So the trick is to keep very low leverage, or, just don't trade at all is another option. What's the best? We did that. Someone asked, bigger scammer, Buterin or Larimer? Well, Buterin publishes more intelligent, useful things outside of his own projects. I mean, he does produce intellectual work that has merit and value that I see. It comes up on my radar. I'm not sure that Larimer does the same stuff. So if I had to be in a project and choose a partner to work with, I would choose Vitalik over Daniel. But, I'm not an expert on Mr. Larimer. I just know he's on project like 6 or something. So if your first 5 fail, yeah, that's not so good. What did I do before Bitcoin? I think I answered that. All right, I'm going to scroll down here. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom. Let's see what we got. Thoughts on EOS? If EOS does formalization of smart contracts, then it reduces the attack surface where they fail. You'll still have edge cases and failures outside of the contracts. So Adam Back tweeted out a paper. Actually, I'm not sure who did it. It might have been me. One of us tweeted out a paper on how formalized systems fail even after you formalize them for reasons outside of your formalization. I don't think most people in the chat even know what the hell I'm talking about. So Google, whatever. If you don't understand that, you're not going to understand it in any short period of time. But software has bugs. And if you want software to have less bugs, then it's nice to have a mathematical proof that says that the software does what you want it to do. That helps, because then you have less bugs. You might not have no bugs, but you'll have less bugs. What do I think about Comet? I have no idea what that is. Is D-Bag coming? No. I have time for moving up in the world. I don't have time for low value shit. I only have time for high value shit. Or not. Maybe what I'm doing now is not high value. Maybe I have time for this and hopefully other high value things. So, Edward Snowden might be really, really good at operational security and things like that, but that doesn't mean he's really good at cryptocurrency, or he'd already be a Bitcoin millionaire, right? So, no, that's not to say that he's not, but statistically, the stats would indicate that he's not, because it's easier to not be than to be. So, Zcash is a 20% founder's tax, pre-mined, I guess you could call it, because of the founder's tax. It's not really pre-mined, but the founder's tax to me is basically the same bad thing. It's a bunch of other people like leeching off the system. Now, is it really leeching? I mean, if they're doing development, no. But if it's really an open source project, yeah. So the problems with Zcash are trusted setup. Maybe they did it wrong. You'll never know because you can't detect the inflation. So if it does fail, you'll never know. You don't know who's stealing the money because you don't know who's printing the coins, because you don't know coins are being printed, because the ZK snarks make it so that you can't measure the actual monetary supply. So trusted setup, bad. 20% founder's tax, bad. Still is not private by default, which is a goddamn joke as far as I'm concerned. So it's all bad. It's all terrible. So, I'm glad someone worked on actually getting ZK snarks into the world, but other than that, I just couldn't care. It's just bad. What is the reason more people with the knowledge to become devs don't? Because there's no money in it. Why would you want to give away your time to make free software for the world to hear about what a piece of crap you are? Like me. Like, what was my good payoff for making great Bitcoin content to have a bunch of retards be like, Richard bad. Don't know exactly why, but Richard bad. What? CSW is out there like claiming to be Satoshi. As long as that's going on, how do you guys have time to like there's real actual bad things going on. Not that many people are trying to fight them. It's a little fucking weird to me. So I wouldn't support anyone committing to these open source projects, to tell you the truth. If they were a friend, do something else with your time. You get paid a lot. Like why? Why give away your time to a project that's going to hate you anyway? Fuck that. So call it tragedy of the commons if you want, but I would be very happy to not be a blockchain developer and not hear what a piece of crap you are, right? Like if you have a technical opinion on anything, now your technical opinion makes you Satan. It's terrible. Somebody says, please talk about getting in on your ICO. Yeah, I don't have an ICO. I probably will have a token launch. I don't like the ICO language. I don't like what people think it means. I don't like its relation to IPO. It seems like the wrong idea. And it doesn't have a name. And I haven't thought about like the game reward incentive side of the token. I've literally just been working on the technology. So you can read the technological paper where it's at now, because we already have 150,000 lines of code, but there's no token stuff on there. So you're probably not going to understand it. So I guess the answer on that is wait for it to have a name and then read more about it. That's about it. What will BTC do if fiat markets crash? I don't know. Go up, probably. Is the Tangle your guys' English is fucking terrible, by the way. Like all you guys that are typing broken, shitty English in chat, go learn English. It's well worth your time. Well worth your time. Stop speaking broken English. But I'll read this anyway. Richard Hart, is the Tangle can be quantum proof layer on Bitcoin? No. You could make a Tangle a sidechain, probably. So I don't know why anyone cares about quantum proof. That's not the threat model, okay? We're having social attacks, not hashing attacks, not quantum attacks, social attacks. So you should be worried about the social issues. I wonder why people value market cap so much in this space. Seems to me it doesn't line up at all with stock trading. Well, yeah, but people understand it a little bit. If you tell them M2 or M1 or M3, they're going to understand it much less. With the patent of Accenture's editable blockchain, do you think future crypto would ever use this? Do you think it has value that cryptos would integrate and then be sued for patent infringement? I don't give a shit about anything Accenture has done. Could I write a dictionary? No. I can barely win a Scrabble game, so I'm definitely not going to write a dictionary. What happens to Bitcoin in November? I don't know, man. My price calls are like $6,000 super soon. I guess it's like 2 weeks. And then maybe 20K end of year. I think my 20K call end of year is 20,003 cents. So that's what I feel is accurate. It's basically because of Wall Street. Like everyone in chat and everyone that's in the current ecosystem is broke as fuck for the most part. So when you bring real people with real money, the real 1%, the Wall Street bros, price explodes. This is just math. When the rich people actually want to play along, forget about it. Price goes to the moon. Is skateboarding a legit hobby or a waste of time? I think it's very noisy. I think everyone that you're near hates it. I think you sustain a lot of injury. I think the tricks are very small. They're not like gymnastics where you're moving your body over, several feet of space. You're just doing a little bit of your board, which is like maybe this. I don't like skateboarding. It's not my thing. And I particularly don't like listening to it. I've considered walking or like behind skateboarders and just dragging plywood along the floor to fucking be like, yep, this is what it sounds like. Irritating as shit, right? Yeah. And maybe you guys should get bicycles and do BMX tricks because they're way more friendly to the people around you and you may even get fucking less injured. Maybe. It's a cool drum and bass video about a guy that got injured biking. Can't remember it off the top of my head. I love drum and bass music, by the way. Can you protect your stake if you only have an idea and you need developers to make it happen? The thing, you don't really have to protect that much because everyone's so fucking lazy and stupid that they don't build anything. They just sit around and make fun of and insult people that do. So you could basically tell your idea to the whole world and you'd still be the only one doing it because everyone else is so jerk-offy. Is spamming still profitable? I doubt it. I mean, didn't they solve spamming 10 or 15 years ago? I mean, if you have a Gmail account, I don't think you get spammed, right? So I wouldn't suggest, I think the only people that spam these days have botnets. And I think botnets are like illegal as fuck. So you probably shouldn't be in that game, is my opinion. I mean, you could just generate lots and lots and lots of opt-in stuff. You know, I guess people do that still with a free iPhone, one simple trick bullshit, all that stuff. I think like their game is the email game. I haven't worked in internet marketing in a very long time. So I'm like 15 years out of the game. Never heard you talk much about shitcoin XYZ. I've dug into their repos and it looks way more promising than a lot of other projects. What are my thoughts? My thoughts are, I care about my token that I'm working on. That's a useful proof of work token. And I don't have time to dedicate my life to everyone's shit, stupid other projects. Do your own research, DYOR. Most of it's garbage. Do I like immigrants? Sure. I like smart immigrants, useful immigrants, immigrants that can teach me things. I think immigration is awesome. I believe in meritocracy. So if you're better, come join Club Better. If you're worse, fuck off. Do I still get RSI? I've never gotten RSI. Is Ledger X the way Wall Street enters the crypto space? Yes, they are. And then after Ledger X exists, ETFs can exist on Ledger X's thing. So it actually cascades a bit. I've heard some of Square Pusher stuff, but I don't even really think he's a drum and bass guy. I thought he was more of a trance guy, but maybe I'm wrong. How to access Discord? Google Richard Hart Discord. I don't know why people don't Google enough. It's the best tool we have, guys. Google it. What do I think about Vitalik's interactive ICO white paper? I read it. I don't give a shit. He's like, they're trying to make up for a problem that they have with miners. They're trying to make up for a problem with their dumb network going down from having only one use case. And they're trying to solve it by begging the people with that use case to act differently. No, like that's bad. So yeah, I don't like it. Do I like anime? Nah, not really. I mean, I like a good story, but many anime stories are not good. There's some okay ones. Somebody says, I take shits on my roommate. Glad that we're doing this live stream. Is it likely that Bitcoin will be declared illegal in some countries of the Western world? Well, yeah, it is already, right? I mean, it's illegal in Venezuela. It's a stupid question. Unless you consider Venezuela not the West. I think it's in the West. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see it get banned. Technologies in general don't get banned in places with normal, well-functioning governments. Technologies pretty much only get banned in places where you have government problems. So unless you have a communist government, you're probably not going to have a technology ban. Now, I mean, we could be pedantic about it and say, like, you're banned from nuclear weapons, but that's pedantic. What do you think about the war in Korea in regard to crypto volume there and in Japan? I think that they're technologically advanced societies that are ahead of us on a lot of things. They've got faster internet, they've got better video game players, you know, so I mean, it kind of makes sense that they could be ahead in crypto trading as well. I don't have a problem with it. So if the Asian tiger, land of the rising sun, wants to be absolutely awesome at crypto. Works for me. Have I ever had a gay experience? No, I don't like when guys that I'm not in fights with or wrestling touch me. So if you take a photo and you put your hand on my shoulder, I'm going to take your hand off. It's pretty hard for a person that basically only likes to like punch other dudes to do other stuff with other dudes. It's not my thing. I like girls. I don't have any interest in being sensual with something that's not a girl. How many computer screens do I use? I used to use 3, but it's stupid. So now you should just use 1. So basically your vision is your fovea, and your fovea only has resolution in a very small area, which is the reason you move your eyes around so much. And everything that's not in that area is out of focus. So if you can alt-tab quickly, it's actually better than using more screens. And it's better to use a giant 4K screen and that has no bezels in between than 3 screens where you've got a giant bezel here and a giant bezel there. Or worst case, you've got your head cocked all day long, which ain't good for you. So multiple screens, it looks cool to people that don't use them, but to people that do use them, it's not as good as like a tiled window manager on a 4K screen with no bezels. So tiling window manager is better than multiple screens now that we have 4K. Before 4K, multiple screens was justifiable. After 4K, it's not. Younger Thugger says, hiding something. I'm all ears, motherfucker. Talk to me. Let's hear it. Richard Hart, do you ever get the urge to drop a deuce after drinking a double coffee? Yes. Yes, I do. And I got to tell you, I got about 15 minutes. Some coffees, they just punch harder. And you got about a 15-minute window. So I know how that goes. Do I have a birthday coming up? I don't dox myself. Or I used to not dox myself, but now that I've discovered the world is so terrible, maybe I'll just dox myself more. Screw my OPSEC. Here, guys, here's my signature. Here's my birthday. You know, let's see if you guys can like impersonate me. I'm not interested in that shit. It's so stupid. Do I think Matt Corallo's letter to the SEC will delay DCG's S1? I didn't know DCG was doing an S1, and I don't think the SEC gives a fuck about what any crypto nerd says about anything. They do this shit for a living. So if you think some letter to people that do something for a living is going to affect what they do for a living, you'll be fucking very surprised when it doesn't. Do we think 3 to 6 months before stock traders get legal access to Bitcoin? No. Ledger X comes on October 4th earliest. And I'm not sure exactly when after October 4th they go live. It could be the same day. It could be after. Is a 65 1080p okay? Or yeah, 4K makes a huge difference. Depends on how good your eyes are. If your eyes suck, maybe 1080p is all you need. I actually have really, really, really good vision. And for me, it needs to be 4K. So I sit about 2 feet away from a 55-inch 4K. If you're going to sit that close, by the way, you should get the ones that are wrapped around a bit so you can see the corners a little easier. Oh, but my geometry. No one cares about geometry. Unless you're maybe an engineer. What do I fill my time with now that I've quit video games? Read my book. Once you've read my book, answer that question again, right? Like, for all you guys that are trying to get stuff out of life that haven't read my book, you're retarded. I put almost every good idea I have in the book. So just read it. What is something besides crypto that you want the world to have improved upon before you die? Well, medical technology. I mean, that's everything, right? Like if we buy more time, then we have time to fix everything else. But if we don't have more time, we don't have the time to fix things. How's my diet? It's going good. I think I'm down like 3 or 4 pounds. My strength is going up. It's going great. Every single day working out. One day I traded my workout for playing squash, and it kicked my ass. So I think I've done 1 non-weightlifting day. 10 Trons asking me about the switches on my board. You're going to have to scroll back to the beginning of this thing because I already covered the switches. Do you think Chrome API serves purpose to dox wallets for CIA? No, I don't think so, but I don't know why I don't know what this Chrome API is that you're talking about so much. There's Chrome, but I'm not really aware of a Chrome API. So maybe I'm dumb. Do I code? No. I learned Scheme in middle school. So I went to the smartest middle school in the world. Amazing. I learned it's called New Math. So if you look up Megas, MEGSSS, and you look up the curriculum, so if you search Megas curriculum, I learned logic and set theory and modus ponens and modus tollens and scheme programming in 6th grade. So it was insane. And then every year of school after middle school was dumber. So high school was easier than middle school. College was easier than high school. I was like, all right, what a terrible waste of time. I do not fly fish. I don't know about the 25 vision. I'd have to test it. Am I willing to bet some of my coins against other coins? I probably would be, but I'm just so sick of that. Like, I'm getting fatigued thinking about all that garbage that I'd rather just work on my useful proof of work computational fluid dynamics project instead of thinking about all this drama garbage. Do you live on Bitcoin profits or because you had a great business past? I don't sell coins, so I don't live on Bitcoin profits for sure. They sit there in paper, they look cool, but you can't really eat with paper gains. You could get loans on them, so maybe one day I'll get loans. Do I think Amazon will be accepting BTC anytime soon? I have no idea. There's a rumor. That's all I know, is that there was a rumor. I don't think it matters that much. Lots of other people have accepted Bitcoin and it hasn't mattered that much. Do I think ETH price will keep rising? No, I think it will go down, and I think it will keep going down. My house looks sweet. Can we get a crib tour? One day. If I were in a WWE tag team match against D-Bag and that other guy, who would you choose as my team partner? And it has to be someone in the crypto space. I think Bits Be Trippin' looks pretty strong. He looks pretty strong, and I think Ansel looks pretty strong. So those are my two strongest looking dudes in crypto, I guess. Those would be my choices. What do you think about the gut biome as a major prerequisite for health? Yeah, I mean, obviously. You're not really eating your food. The stuff in you is eating your food along with you, so it matters a lot. There used to be something that said there's 10 times more bacterial cells in you than there are cells of yourself, but then a couple years later, they came out and said it's about 2 times, or maybe 1 time. But that's still a lot, right? Is it possible to do arbitrage with small amounts and turn a profit? Nope. You late, boy. Your thoughts on governance-centric coins like Decred. Why would you want idiots voting on things? Idiots are idiots. I don't believe in the general population making good decisions. They don't. They don't make good investment decisions. They don't make good life choices. And they're definitely not going to make insane technical decisions. They're not qualified to. You shouldn't expect them to. Did I see the Elon Musk talk? No. I just saw the cool rocket. Why does my dog run around so much? I don't know, man. He doesn't have anything to read. And he doesn't have internet. So he just kind of chills. What else is he going to do? Walking around is kind of what dogs are good at. Is there any questions you want us to ask that we're not asking? I don't think so. Okay, basically, my biggest concern currently is that I don't like the drama bullshit, and I don't like being defamed, and it irritates me because I've led a good life, and I really do my best to try and make the world better. And to have to eat shit and be called bad names unfairly makes me lightly angry. Lightly. Because in the grand scheme of things, I don't even matter. If you build a good project, it doesn't matter who you are, right? So all of people's opinions of me, if they went up 10x or down 10x, probably wouldn't make any difference outside my touchy-feely emotional bullshit. It wouldn't. I don't I don't think I should care. So I have large portions of time where I just don't care. I just work, I shouldn't care. And it's a mistake that I do care every once in a while, but whatever, I'm a human, I like people liking me. But if I could like flip a switch and like care even less, then I would do that. I'd flip the switch. Do you think any of the red flags I raised are legitimate, and would you like to address any? If not now, will you address them at a later date? Lol. Okay. If you are 18 and you have had your penis inside a 14-year-old, you are a scumbag, and you need to be publicly censured and removed from society, right? There's a reason we have laws, and we have consent laws, and those laws state that you can't do things physically with people if they're not old enough to consent to it. So I don't answer questions from child rapists, and I don't interact with them, and I would prefer that they go to an island and never be seen again. That's my take on that. If you interact with scumbags and you interact with people that aren't going up to the sky, you're going to have problems, right? If you're in a gang, or you hang out with drug users, or you hang out with people that pride themselves on being weird or unaccepted by society, you're going to have the problems that they give you. If you hang out with winners, even winners you disagree with, like Roger Ver, you're not going to have those problems. You're going to have a better class of problems. So with my life, I choose to have a better class of problem. I don't have interest in like interacting with scumbags. And the mistakes that I've made in my life, for the most part, have come from interacting with a lower class of human. And lower classes of people generate terrible problems. On down the list. Oh, that burp. Good production quality right there. Let's scroll up a bit. I haven't fucking addressed all these questions. The problem is you guys generate, early in chat, people generate questions quicker than I can answer them because my answers take so long. But later in chat, everyone runs out of stuff to say. And then it fizzles out. Can I explain my thoughts on smart contract oracles? Sure. So there's your program. All a smart contract is a program. And all programs do is act on data. And all an oracle is data. So a smart contract is just a program, and an oracle is just data. And so your smart contract tries to decide what's going on in the real world to be useful. But it gets lied to by the oracle that tells it lies, and then it does bad things. So smart contracts will always be stupid as long as the oracles lie to them. And solving the oracle problem, which is solving the analog to digital conversion of data, if you solve that, you've done more for the world than cryptography in the cryptocurrency space. So it's not getting solved anytime soon. Scrolling down. I have covered a high percentage of these questions. My Linux distro, not really a Linux user. I mean, if I wanted to fight the good fight, Mint. And if I didn't want to fight the good fight and wanted something that was reliable, Fedora. Someone's telling me what API definition is. Thanks, man. I knew that one. I don't know exactly how that means that Chrome has one and that people are using it in a certain way. But whatever. Which chain will win after the 2x fork? The core chain, because they have the best technicians. Yeah, Roger's really good at jiu-jitsu and a lot of other stuff, so he deserves respect. His technical decisions on some of this blockchain stuff ain't right, but you should respect the guy. Learn TensorFlow or learn Eth. I would learn TensorFlow over Solidity. Like, it's a bigger market. The cryptocurrency market, as awesome as it is, it's not as big as the AI market. Like, you can just look at the prices paid for companies, right? Like, you could look at what Google paid for their little brain company. It's based in the UK. I can't remember it right now, but they're the guys that, you know, just recently beat the grandmasters at Go. So I think TensorFlow and AI short term will pay a developer 2 to 3x the return they would get on being a Solidity dev. Would I have a fecal transplant? I kind of like the gut bacteria I have, so I'm not really excited about changing them for anyone else's. If you had Crohn's disease, then I could understand wanting to switch them out. Do I really think Peter Schiff believes Bitcoin will fail? No, I don't. Unless he's convinced himself of it. I mean, it's not going to fail. Yeah, he sells gold. He marks up gold and sells you marked up gold. If you like paying a big markup, he's your guy. I don't know why anyone would buy anything from him ever or take his advice ever, because he's been wrong forever. Ooh, a comment that sounds good. Just want to say hello to you. You are an amazing man. Thank you for your beautiful vid and information about cryptocurrency and life. Sorry, my English not very good. Your not very good English is better than other people's not very good English here, so you should feel very good about that. Thank you, man from Korea. Yeah, haters are going to hate. And look, if you think the hate is big now, it's going to get bigger. Like, once I actually have a token ready, people don't like you getting rich. So they're going to be mad, so mad. What can I do? I've asked all these guys for help. I've asked everyone I've met for help on the design of a good, honest, excellent project. And most of these lazy son of a bitches didn't care to help out. Didn't care to hop and chat. Didn't care to be useful. Didn't care to back up their boy. All they want to do is hate. Okay, you want to hate but not help build? Well, you can stay poor. Stay poor, stay useless, make low impact. You go do that. I'm not happy with low impact. I'm not happy with my life where it's at now. I got to make more impact. We need thousands of people reading the book. We need thousands of people making their lives better. We need thousands of people trying to save their own lives. We need thousands of people selling the S&P 500 and weapon stocks and alcohol stocks and gambling stocks and investing in things that might save their lives, right? That's the end game. So if you're not on, if you're not into that, like, if that doesn't sound good to you, fucking unfollow, unsubscribe, fuck off. You don't have utility for me, right? You're not making the world a better place. You're either helping me make the world a better place, or you're a distraction and a diversion, and you got to go your own way. You got to be cut free. You got to be cut loose. I don't have time for low value. Well, I shouldn't. I still apparently do, because I'm not perfect, but the less low value I have in my life, the better it's going to be. Somebody says something about me streaming more. It's really hard to keep track of this. I should turn on timestamps. That'd make it easier. I believe you were the Dan Bilzerian before Dan Bilzerian? No. Dan Bilzerian is way cooler than me. He's stronger. He'll whoop my ass. He's better with firearms. Dan Bilzerian, he's got more money. He's better looking. He's got more social impact. Dan Bilzerian is way better than I am. Way better. I can't think of anything that I'm doing better than Dan Bilzerian. Nope. Maybe he'll die earlier from the roids due to like heart valve expansion. But other than that, he's doing great. Does my wallet really have to scan the entire blockchain to figure out your balance? Yep. Yes, it does. How else would it know? It does actually have to do that. What do you really know as a certainty? That stupid, wasteful questions exist and that you have asked one. What's the sound of one hand clapping? Wow, you've done nothing except waste your time. Congrats. Hire my dog to code on the token. I should. It'd do better work than some people. Probably wouldn't lose anyone's money. I was recently defamed at work. It fucking sucks ass. Yeah, because you can't win. You can't win, right? You're trying to do cool shit and you're like, no, you suck. And then if you accept the frame that you, like, if you even do the argument, you lose. That's why I just try to avoid the frames at all. You need to stream more. You were very Atlas shrugged and Ayn Randish, but I get it. Okay. I wish I were more Richard Hardish, because I think my belief system is better than their belief system, and I've written in length about it. So you could just check out my belief system, which I wrote, called Sci-Vive, and become a Sci-Viver and outperform libertarians and liberals and all the other things that start with lib. You should be able to outperform them as a survivor. Sci-Viver. It makes me sick how major newspapers are trying to normalize pedos. I don't know that anyone's trying to do that. See, that's that framing question, right? Like someone introduces a stupid frame, like a presupposition that's inaccurate, and then if you fall for the trick, you like fight it, or you could just call it out. Like, I don't agree with your presupposition. I don't think anyone is trying to normalize criminality that I'm aware of. Like, I don't smoke weed. I don't, smoke crack. I don't snort coke. I've tried marijuana twice, maybe 3 times. Threw up twice. I think one time I didn't throw up. So it's definitely 3 times. That's it. That's my drug use. Like, I'm not interested in losing control. I guess I drink alcohol every once in a while, but it's not my thing. Somebody says this is a weird topic. 18 to 16 doesn't make you a rapist. 18 to 14 does, don't it? Depending on where you live. Maybe you don't remember what a 14-year-old looks like. Go fucking find a 14-year-old and take a look and be like, is this cool? Probably not cool, dude. Love this chat. Therefore, everyone at Richard Hart, if you want any crypto shirts, use this coupon, Richard, for 5% off. All right. I'm going to allow that. So be it. Thank you for accepting Bitcoin, I assume. Please at least admit you treat Atlas Shrugged like the Bible. I've never read that shit, and I don't care. And the lady that wrote it was a loser. Did she have a business? Did she invent things? She was a lady that wrote a book about a belief system, and then everyone treated her like God. Well, look, Darwinism and self-interest existed long before her socialist getting money from the government ass was around. Okay, I respect people that are in charge of large organizations that decide what really happens, the people that are really in charge of the world. Now, she may have found herself there by writing a good belief system, but, a lot of other people wrote, quote, good belief systems, and I didn't respect them either, right? If you want me to respect you as like a god, you got to have God stuff. I respect Dan Bilzerian much more than I respect Ayn Rand. But, what can I tell you? I'm a very simple man. It's either funny or smart, and either gets you laid or paid. And that's it. If it ain't funny or smart, laid or paid, it's got to go. Appreciate what you're doing here, Richard. Thanks. You're welcome. I missed a start. No. Has anyone asked you to explain what you do? Has anyone asked you to explain what you yourself are doing yet? Yeah. Everyone asks me about a token once in a while. Right now, I'm just gathering technicians. So I'm looking for a couple more PhDs. I've got one. I want a couple more on it, and then I'll feel qualified to rotate out of the technical side and into the more social gamey theory token side. You know, I'm tired of being so technically involved. It sucks. It's very hard. Reading white papers all day is sucky. What should every young person be doing today that nobody tells them to do? Well, watch my videos. One will tell you, to learn what you need to so that you can trade width of knowledge for depth and become valuable by going down a certain path. What do you think about instant cross-blockchain transactions? It's usually called an atomic swap. I don't know why he's used this language that he's used. What's the value in them? Well, why wouldn't you want to be able to trade with minimum counterparty risk one thing for another thing? That would be like being able to translate one language to another language. Seems totally useful. And then he tries to pump some shitcoin. I don't care about the shitcoin. What are Ver and Co referring to when they claim that they are censored? Yeah, it's just Reddit moderation. And look, the Reddit mods were right to do it. Look how it turned out. When you gave him a platform to do whatever he wanted, his platform was, give me more control and let's take huge risks and get rid of the best security people and replace them with a couple people who suck. Is that the message that you want to help him get out? Exactly. No, right? So like if a thing is called Bitcoin Talk, or in this case, Bitcoin Reddit, I want it to talk about Bitcoin. That's what it's called. But then if you go to like the BTC Reddit, they don't talk about Bitcoin. They talk about things that aren't Bitcoin, that have different ticker symbols. So which one's misleading? Like which one's wrong? Crazy. So, there's a difference between censorship and good moderation on a single topic. And you can't confuse the two. Should the criminal system focus on revenge? Yep. That's the game. As long as people don't like having revenge performed on them, it works. Try living someplace with no laws sometime and let me know how it goes. If I could go back 10 years and start from square one, what would be the first business I would start up? I don't know, man. I retired like 14 years ago. It's kind of a stupid question. It's not stupid, it's just the wrong time frame. If I could go back 10 years and start from square one, I wouldn't do that much different. I mean, I really like business and I would just focus more on human resources. Like the biggest problem I've ever had is a human resource problem, and that never changes because humanity doesn't change. So try and be better at human resources. So I guess the answer would be I would focus more on finding the right people, and especially finding not the wrong people would be what I would change. But I'm okay with the paths. Like the paths I took were cool. Thoughts on EOS and IOTA? IOTA is terrible. EOS doesn't really exist yet, right? So I don't care about either of those. Roger has a brown belt in martial arts. Okay. Can you unban my Twitter, please? Maybe. Right? I unbanned everybody that was likely to be dramatic on site because I don't care about Twitter followers. Like, they don't give me anything. They didn't tell me when China was going to ban. They don't help me with my computer problems. They don't help me design my token. They do what? They suck knowledge from me, is all a Twitter follower does. They take my knowledge. Okay. Now, there are some rare exceptions, but they're exceptions. So it's very easy for me to do the math on people subscribing to me or other people during this time frame just get banned on site. It's just statistics. But if I knew you were all going to be such little crybabies about it, I probably wouldn't have done it. So sure, find somebody that I haven't blocked to private message me. I've got open private messages. And then ask them to ask me to unblock you. Or join my Discord, or join my Telegram channel. I'll actually drop links to those here. One moment. Let's drop some links. So this link is going to take you to the Discord. And then this link is going to take you to the Telegram. All right, there's the Discord and there's the Telegram. Scrolling down. Someone asks, Richard, you mentioned you like drum and bass. Have you heard the album by DRS called Mid-Mic Crisis? I will check it out after the stream. Let's do a little magic here. There you go. What's byteball? Byteball is a project written by like basically one Russian dude that's actually really, really, really good. So part of the reason people have problems with smart contracts is because you can't write them in normal, understandable, logical English. So the ability to write smart contracts in a normal human readable English format is called declarative smart contracts. And byteball supports declarative smart contracts. And they already have oracles built in. One is for whether your flight was delayed or not, or canceled. And the other is for, I think, sports betting. And so just, you can make your own chatbots very easily and do your own peer-to-peer insurance over byteball right now. And it doesn't have mining. And it doesn't have block sizes. That's all awesome. And it runs on any platform. That's all really good. And it's got fair distribution. They hand it out for free to Bitcoin holders. What more do you want? So you've got free distribution, the best smart contracts in the business, oracles pre-rolled in, atomic cross-chain swaps with order book already wrapped into the client, Bitcoin to byteball, byteball to Bitcoin. What more do you want? That's good. That's really good. That's a whole lot of shit Bitcoin doesn't even have anywhere near close to. And what's the price? Falling through the floor. All right. So like the company with the best technology, not exactly the one that wins all the time, right? Because that technology seems to me to be quite good. Now, what's the downside? One dev, federated system, maybe there could be some huge collusion. So there are threat models, but you should definitely check the project out. People ask, where are my signal channel? I didn't know you could have a signal channel. I didn't know it was a thing. So I guess after this, I'll ask about it and see whether Signal has channels or not. I thought they didn't. Do you believe non-human entities are among us? Dogs are. I assume you mean aliens. No. We're too far away, unfortunately. So there's millions and billions and trillions of aliens. There always will be. However, we'll never meet them because they're too far away. How cool are SDRs? Not. I don't have the nation state status to be able to advantage myself by an SDR. I don't understand that question. How do we take part in byteball? I don't know, go to byteball.org and read. Isn't there a risk of giving my BTC to byteball? The address? I don't know. Does anyone care what your Bitcoin address is? Why? How do they know it's yours? I don't know. Maybe there's some analytical risk, but unless you're doing shady shit, I'm not sure why you care that much. I think he's talking your pump and dump signals channel. I don't have a signals channel. And I don't have any way you could possibly give me money, no matter how hard you tried. So, are you talking to Richard Hart? Who are you talking to? I don't get it. Is this fan fiction? Are you like writing fiction? Very weird. The internet is really, really, really full of fucking stupid people. It hurts me. Oh, lol. He says, I don't know what SDR you know of, but I'm talking about software-defined radios. I think software-defined radios are awesome. I thought you were talking about special drawing rights, which is what the World Bank uses to screw around with their extortion of nation states. Today we learned that special drawing rights and software-defined radios both have the same abbreviation. LOL. That's pretty funny. Why, yeah, obviously. Software-defined radio is the shit. Everything that you can make software instead of hardware is pretty great. Do you need a hardware wallet or a paper wallet? For what? And paper is hardware, but whatever. It's very, very simple hardware. Do you remember when the internet allowed you to find people as smarter than you? Yes, I do. I do remember that. And then the eternal September happened. And that's what we live in now. If you don't know what eternal September is, you can Google it. I'm sure you don't know. Your opinion on decentralized supercomputer crypto projects in general as a direction to develop? Well, that's what I'm developing in. So I think it's one of the better ones. I mean, what use is a computer? A computer is only useful for the computations that it runs. And what are the best computations that you can run? Well, those that improve the real world. And what are the best ways to improve the real world? By understanding it and improving it. And what are the best ways to understand and improve it? To model it. So I'm big on supercomputing and modeling because I think it's the most likely to improve the real world. And the only thing that could be better would be artificial intelligence. Unless it extincts us, and that's worse. So we'll see how that goes. How did it feel to be mentioned by Max Kaiser in the Kaiser Report? I like Max's content. It's exciting. He's a creative, smart dude. You know, he's got a TV show. That's cool. But once again, what can I do with followers, likes, mentions? What can I do with them? I care about blockchain developers and cryptographers, and that's it. Like, that's what I care about. And everybody else, I can't find anything to do with right now. Like, if you want to become a survivor and try and save your own life and invest in the biotech index or help get the word out about those things, that's great. But as far as the crypto space goes, I don't care. I only care about devs. So I guess it was nice, but I don't know. It would be nicer if I had something to sell you, I guess. I don't understand how to get them if the coins are on my Trezor. Read the guide. Read the fucking guide. Google, guys. Seriously. Like, so many things are answered by Google. Where and when can we get some food and drinks? You can have cranberry juice if you want. I'm buying. You can get a whole carafe. Thank you, Ricky Holder. That's very nice of you. But I stopped drinking cranberry drinks. Used to drink vodka cranberries. Every cranberry drink you have is like 200 calories extra. Every 3 cranberry juices is a Big Mac. So you're going to have 2 Big Macs extra tonight by drinking vodka cranberry instead of vodka soda lime. I'm a vodka soda lime guy. So if we go get drinks someday, they're going to be what are referred to as skinny bitches, vodka soda limes. How long do I want to live? As long as life is awesome. And then I'll jump out a window when it's not. I'll probably find some more interesting way to die, like jump into helicopter blades or something. Probably won't jump out of a window. If I ever have to off myself, it's going to be a much more exciting way to go. Fire myself out of a cannon or something. Best starting programming language? I love Lisp. And so Lisp is like useful because there's libraries and some standards. So basically Common Lisp was generated by looking at the way everyone was doing things in their various Lisps and like trying to unify all of that stuff. But if you just want to do something that's not as useful and you just want to learn, then Scheme can teach you good stuff, but it's not as useful. So that's like most teaching languages, right? You want it to be uncluttered by utility to just get the ideas. So I don't know. Maybe I'm giving you bad advice. Maybe you should just do the thing that makes you money. Maybe you should go learn Node and Postgres. When I learn a programming language next, it's going to be Common Lisp. Other people, I don't know, maybe Racket, maybe Clojure, maybe Rust, whatever. I'm thinking Common Lisp though. Richard Hart, when you were in high school, did you ever just go back home when you got the urge to drop a deuce because you unknowingly drank a double coffee at school? I didn't really drink coffee back then. I do love not pooping out in public, though. It's great. Pooping in public sucks. It's always garbagey. So it pays to be wealthy, because you get to poop better places. High quality chat, guys. Changing the world. Poop talk. Do you want to come to Burning Man with me next year? Maybe. Best way to learn a programming language? Google it. I think there's a website called 20 Days Till or something like that. Some number of days till that gets you like minimum viable, able to get working on a new programming language. They do them for like all the different languages. That could be a good start for you. Just go on Hacker News, like news.ycombinator.com, and you can read all the nerdy programming stuff you want. Have you ever been to the City of London? Yes. He put that in quotes because there's a City of London in London, and they're different from each other. I understand you are interested in prolonging life aging. I should check out sens.org. I volunteered for sens.org in like 2006. I did their video for their event, and I know personally several people involved. So yeah, I like Sens. And maybe when token 1 is done, I'll be able to help Aubrey do something in the space to help people save their own lives. That would be cool. What else? Any thoughts on what will trigger shit hit the fan? I don't think anything will. I think people are fat and happy, and as long as there's not nukes, everything's fine. What does my daily, weekly diet consist of? Shitloads of cottage cheese. It's high protein, and it's not tasty enough to make you more hungry. So it makes you full, keeps your muscle mass up, and it's quick and easy. You don't have to prepare it. Just eat it out of the container. Call me boring, but boring makes dieting easy. Did I ask you if you'd ever consider making something to help someone with dyslexia pick up on mistakes they may have missed? Sure. Go use Hemingway.com or Google it, Hemingway app, like corrects your language and stuff. It'll probably fix all the stuff you've done verbally. Most disliked person in the crypto world? Depends on what team you're on. Every team hates the other team, right? So that question's misleading a little bit. I like how people try and ask me smart questions to catch me on being not smart, and I've never failed one yet. We'll see about the Google Chrome API. It's the only thing I could have failed today that I didn't know about. How many Bitcoin forks until Bitcoin's a joke? Forks don't matter. No one uses them. They just reallocate funds from one group of holders to another group of holders. Like I don't mind the forks at all. Do I believe projects like Liberland can actually succeed? No. You need loads of guns? Yeah. Kind of. Depends on what you call succeed. Like little island nations are, quote, successful financially. I mean, that's success enough, right? So there could be some limited success conditions, but you know, the whole become a new country thing usually requires some blood on the streets. Do you think wanting to live forever might be your midlife crisis? Well, had I not started when I was 23 years old, maybe. We'll see if I die at 46, right? If I die at 46, then I guess wanting to live longer was my midlife crisis. But if I don't die at 46, then no. I mean, I felt this way since I was in middle school. It's simple. It's like, what's the best thing you can do with your life? Well, have it not end so quickly, right? I mean, we're here for like a blink of an eye. It's not good. What do I think of Asian people? I think they're small and very smart. And they're not as white as Caucasian people. What are you supposed to think about them? I don't know. I mean, that's their measurements. Are measurements what you're looking for? My 5-year-old just said, he looks like a nice man. I like his jacket and shirt, really stylish. Well, sir, I like your 5-year-old. Cottage cheese and low salt Lay's are my favorite treat. Do you put potato chips in the cottage cheese? Huh. I'm not going to try that. Sounds like it'll taste bad, but worst case, it'll taste good. And then it's back to Fatsville. What do I think will happen when Earth gets hit by a major solar flare? I don't know. Power grids go down? Like, I don't think it's a big deal. We'll repair everything. That's my answer. Everything that's stored in non-magnetic storage or offline will be fine. What should someone invest in if they're just starting out in cryptos? What should they read, watch, learn to have a better understanding of cryptos and who not to follow? Buy Bitcoin, hold it, and go work for a living and go do something good with your life. That's all you have to do. You buy, you hold, and then you go be useful and productive with your life. You don't need to do more than that. You know, I guess you could get your security right. And if you're total noob, just watch Andreas Antonopoulos's Total Noob Bitcoin material. It's the best in the space. If some big guys ran an enormous amount of modified Bitcoin full nodes, would that bring any problem to Bitcoin? Sure. It's called a Sybil attack, and it's in the list of Bitcoin weaknesses, which you can find in the wiki. So if you search Bitcoin vulnerabilities wiki, you're going to find a list of things you can do to make Bitcoin hurt for a while. Internet stopped. Sorry to hear that. Why do you have candles but never light them up? Because then I'd have to keep buying candles, wouldn't I? And it would heat up the room, and it would actually overlight me. I'd have to, like, it's a long story, right? Like, because I've got my aperture so wide open, if it gets much brighter here, I'm going to be overexposed. And then since I can't turn the ISO down because I'm already at minimum ISO, I'm going to have to like either increase the shutter speed, which is going to make me seem choppier and more staccato-like. It's a lot of bullshit, like, work as to why I can't really illuminate my face more currently. I might just start doing candle-only shows. It looks pretty cool, so I might do that. It would be cooler, temperature-wise, and it looks pretty awesome. So maybe the next time I do a live stream, I'll just do candlelight only. Scrolling. Why did you stop helping sends? Because people don't care. If you tell them you want to live longer, they tell you you're a piece of crap. It's very unrewarding. And until it becomes less unrewarding, it's just a very crappy experience to constantly have the same stupid conversations about people that want to die and want to see other people die. It's terrible to have those conversations again and again. Matter of fact, I'm going to copy and paste here something that I pasted to my chat earlier today, which are all I wrote this guide on how to stop people from shit-talking life so much. My guide's 1,800 words and my maximum paste is 200 words. All right, that sucks. I guess I won't be pasting that. Maybe I can paste directly from the Discord. Let's see if their hot linking protection works. I'm going to paste this, and then I'm going to see whether... Let's see what that does. Let's see if that works. I don't know whether they do hot camera protection or not. Someone asked what kind of camera I'm using. I get these questions all the time. I'm basically not going to tell anyone how I do the great things I do anymore, because there's a chance that the people that are asking me are scumbags and they're just going to use it for evil. So like some other people doing like ICO pump and dump bullshit asked me that and I didn't respond. And I'm probably just going to make that my default. Like the things I do better than everyone else, I'm just going to keep doing better, and you can go figure it out on your own. Like I figured it out on my own, unless you establish to me that you have utility and are doing something that I support, and then I'll share my knowledge with you. I'm getting pretty tired of the whole make the world better and eat shit for it thing. I'd rather just not. Where do I see the cryptocurrency market cap in 2020? I don't know. Very high. I mean, I've already predicted the price to be 20K. That's 20. That's like, fuck, man. No, like 2018, 20K. So 2020, high. Very, very high. Many multiples of this. Is there any chance $2 still alive? No. Is it okay to do bad and illegal things to make lots of money? No. Do governments in Africa make it difficult for Bitcoin to be used there? I don't know. Their internet connectivity sucks. Their banking systems suck. I'm not sure they've made it particularly hard on Bitcoin. They just suck. You can't confuse incompetence with malice in that case. So unless you have specific laws or specific actions that have occurred to allow me to discern between specific malice and general incompetence. Do you think smoking should be allowed again in public spaces? I don't know, man. You kind of are doing harm to people. So, no. Go start your own we all do harm to each other at the same time club. And then you can all blow smoke in each other's faces. What do you think about Elon Musk's 2017 presentation? Kind of nice to see someone think more about more than just himself. Hey, yeah, Elon Musk is awesome. I wish he worked on longevity instead of space, but I'll take space over nothing. Link to my book. Google it. Or go to my Twitter. Or, oh yeah, there's people here that don't have my Twitter. On Twitter. Are the red candles to your right and an allegory to Bitcoin dipping? Nope. This is bad comedy. See, this is the reason that being in the crypto space sucks. Like, that joke was terrible. Terrible. Terrible joke. On down the list. Don't give up on making the world better. I won't. I'll just try and do it ways that are less personally costly, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see how it works out. Just got to keep working. Tell us what I suck at. I suck at basketball. I suck at deep work. I want to stop doing deep work. I want to like do easy things like Twitter and shit. I guess I don't suck that bad, but I suck more than I'd like to. What else? I have historically sucked at dieting. Well, not really. I mean, I lost 50 pounds. I know how to do it. It's just when you're so fat, losing 50 pounds isn't enough. I need to lose 80 pounds, right? So, like, I got to lose 30 pounds from here. So, like, losing 50 was nice, but I still got another 30 to go. So maybe I'm not bad at dieting. I just have to do it for more. Will I be going to Mars? No, I like it here. The cows are here. The people are here. Why the fuck would I go where there's nothing? What might you imagine to be the best highest of blockchain? I don't know. It's just for censorship resistance. So the highest and best use of blockchain is to export the minimum parts of your system that require censorship resistance, put them in the blockchain, and then keep everything else off chain. So that's the breakthrough. What's the chance of a hard fork? I hope very high. I prefer a hard fork. I prefer a hard fork that has 2 coins at the end, and then I get 2 coins. I prefer that. What do I think about the ban on incandescent bulbs? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I respect the black body radiation, good aquas and reds of a halogen or incandescent bulb, and I do not appreciate the blinky, shitty, spectrally inaccurate weirdness of complex fluorescent, normal fluorescent, LED, any of those systems. They look bad, and I don't like things that look bad. I'd rather work harder for a beautiful world than have an uglier world that's slightly more energy efficient. What's my favorite Game of Thrones character? That's an interesting question. What's my favorite Game of Thrones character? I'd be a dragon. The one that didn't get turned into an evil dragon. I'd be one of the good dragons. Why not? They seem cool. Fly around, burn stuff. Come to Sweden someday and we will have absolute soda and lime. Yep, Absolute's good vodka. Thoughts on vegan diet? Hard to get all your protein, fart a lot. It's not really my style. I'm not happy with all the meat replacements. My vegan friends are always feeding me you got to try this, you got to try that. And they're pretty good, but I don't need to eat pretty good when I can eat the best. Or in this case, buckets of cottage cheese. Am I a social justice warrior? I don't think so. I mean, my first 2 YouTube videos were 40 minutes of anti-social justice warrior stuff, so I don't think I'm a social justice warrior. Bitmain Tech removed all payment options other than BCC. Good. Great. I hope that they sell less equipment. Excellent. I hope they remove all their payment options. That would be ideal. How did I become wealthy? You're here late, buddy. Go back to the beginning of the stream. When you should be able to rewind now, actually. Go vegan to lose weight. Thanks. I hate these new light bulbs too. Is Cliff High smart? I don't know. I know he doesn't know shit about biology when he said that mice don't have telomeres. That was when I alt F4'd. I'm like, oh, mice don't have telomeres. Yes, they do. Alt F4. I should have alt F4'd when I heard that a single molecule would cure aging. Aging's complicated. You ain't going to cure it with a single anything. So that just also angers me. We're going to cure a complex thing with one thing. Nope. No, you're not. That's why it's complex. Did I ever try real Kobe beef? Kobe beef sucks. I hate Kobe beef. It tastes like greasy, slimy garbage. I don't want too much fat in my meat. I want the meat that's in the middle, and I don't want the fat that's on the outside sparsed magically through massage and feeding and genetics all throughout the middle of the meat. I don't want more fat in my beef. It's crappy. And I've spent a lot of money on expensive Wagyu beef, and I just don't care. It's bad. It's like so many other expensive things. It's like that Armand de Brigiac champagne. It tastes like garbage, but it's expensive. Or perfumes that are expensive and smell bad, like on down the list. All right, so I wonder how long we've been streaming so that I can calculate when the questions have finally fallen off, because this is that point where I've exceeded the good question availability. Where can I find this? Somewhere in the taskbar. 2 hours. It seems like an hour and 53 minutes is where chat decides to have no more good questions. What is my favorite meat? I just like filet mignon, man. That's my go-to. So tasty. Medium rare. I wouldn't normally, if people would cook it properly and leave it juicy enough in the middle and give me a good crispy outside, I'd be okay with just medium. But it seems like people tend to overcook instead of undercook. So it's always safer to get it medium rare, and then if you have to, you can send it back again. So medium rare is the ticket for delicious filet. Sorry I can't stay to watch anymore. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to catching up on the rest later when it's uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, it's going to be automatically uploaded up there. Was your reference in deep work in a previous video a reference to Carl Newport's works? He may have popularized the term, but stopping wasting your time and thinking long and hard about a problem has existed for thousands. I mean, it's existed for as long as humans have, right? So I don't like taking a single guy that just happens to give you some life pro tips on how to do a thing and then say that that's his thing. No, we've been thinking about thinking for a very long time. So thanks for popularizing the term, I guess. What music am I into? I like Tchaikovsky, I like drum bass, I like Led Zeppelin, I like trance, I like dance, I like rap, I like hip hop, I like almost everything. I mostly don't like country. I mostly don't like Latin. And I guess I don't like polka. That's about it. Which 2 things would you delete from human history? Fidget spinner, vegans, or vape users? I'm all right with all those. I'd probably delete the genocides probably delete the genocides. So the world wars would be on my list of things to delete. Call me like a easy question answer. Maybe I should find a less easy to find answer. Somebody says Shiga beef is far better. Okay. I don't even know what that one is, man. Maybe it is, but I imagine it's just fattier. It's my guess, and just fattier ain't never gonna work for me. So, favorite quote? It's the persistence one from Coolidge, I believe. I think it's Calvin Coolidge. That only persistence will, get you where you want to go, and that talent and intelligence are so common and so useless that their failure is, more often than their success. So persistence is what wins the day, not talent, not smarts, only trying really hard. Do you think Elon should work on Sea Dragons, which are called very large rockets, instead of relaunchable rockets? No, I think that they have to scale from smaller to larger. They're doing it the right way. I don't think they should jump to larger first. My 1 rep max on the bench. Right now, my bench sucks. It probably will suck for a while. So it's 165 pounds by 5, which I did a calculated max, and it was like 178 or something, which sucks. So, I could just do a normal max today, and the calculations are probably going to be accurate. Can you elaborate more on the improvements you made with the CFD methods? Well, not really. It's too complicated. Quid pro quo, what is the speed of light in terms of c? It's just c. That's what it is. I don't understand. Is that like a trick question? Rhetorical question? Very weird. Do you think Max Kaiser is a scammer? I don't know. I would hope that the community would say more about it if he was. I know he had a Max coin. I don't know what the deal was with that. Now he's promoting Dash. I don't know. I know that he wants the Bitcoin price to go up, and for that, I am very happy. And he's on the same team as me for Bitcoin price go up. So he's more useful in that way than nearly anyone else I'm aware of. So thank you, Max Kaiser. We appreciate the excellent work on making the Bitcoin get to the moon. Great question. Why did you ignore my question about Tone Vase being a retard? I missed it. Someone may have deleted it because it's a terrible question. I don't think Tone's a retard. I think he needs to change his haircut, but he's not a retard. You think it's the biggest threat to Bitcoin? Nuclear war? When Bitcoin hits the moon, how do you propose to diversify? You don't. You don't have to. You're fine. Leave it. When it hits the moon, we move on to the outer solar system. It's fine. When Bitcoin going up in value, won't everyone just hoard Bitcoin and never spend it? That'd be like, that's every investment, right? Isn't every investment go up more the more of it you don't sell? So, if stocks went up in value, wouldn't everyone just hoard them and never buy anything? Life doesn't work that fucking way. Like, people spend more the richer they get, not less. So, I don't understand. He's trying to describe in very stupid noob terms a deflation death spiral, but those have never actually happened. So there's always been some other external thing going on. We've never had a chance to see whether a deflation death spiral exists outside of terrible war instances. Do I like electric cars? Yes. What's for breakfast? I had just eggs with very little in them, unfortunately. If you want to see whether spending Bitcoin makes the price go up or not, then you can look at the relationship of monetary velocity to price. But understand that that only applies in a fully adopted currency system, which Bitcoin is not, so it's very misleading. That ought to confuse you. Why is Swarovski crystal so gaudy? Well, it just reflects light. Like, what else do you want it to do? Not reflect light? They make black stuff, but it looks ugly. I don't know. Maybe it's gaudy because you've got poor taste? I don't know. I like Swarovski crystal. I think it looks cool. 5 greatest rappers? I don't know. Tupac, Biggie. I like the guys from, I guess Eazy-E was pretty good. And there was this one group from, there was a song called My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me. So I love rap that's basically story-based. So for instance, Mind Playing Tricks on Me by the Ghetto Boys. Not the Ghetto Boys, the Something Boys. Was awesome. And they had a couple other like story-based raps. And then I also like some of Outkast stuff that's story-based. So, man, I can't remember my favorite Outkast song right now. I can sing it in my head, but I can't remember the title. I had an out-of-body experience a little bit once. I had like some 7 chakra chanting, Om, all that stuff, and some guy comes and like blesses you on your head, and it seems like an instant induction to hypnosis where it like feels like the top of your head has been pulled off, which is really weird. But I mean, I know it's just basically an instant induction hypnotic thing. It's not, you know, I didn't leave my body. It just felt like my top of my head was pulled open, just kind of crazy, kind of cool. But it's, you know, it's just like an optical illusion, except it's not optics, it's other sensory. So doesn't matter that much. I'm sure hippier people would be like, oh my God, it matters so much. Nope. You know, I'm okay with this kind of illusion the same way I'm okay with optical illusions. It's not a big deal. Do you think we would be in a way worse position if the genocides didn't happen, overpopulation, climate? No, because we self-regulate. Like, you're not going to see overpopulation unless we choose to have it. So why do people down-talk me? Because it makes them important, right? So I am a winner. I am rich. I am smart. I am successful. I have won. These people are losers. They are not rich. They are not successful. They have not won. They did not retire at 25 years old. They did not travel the world. They suck. And so when a person that sucks interacts with a person that doesn't suck, it's in their best narrative interest to tear down and destroy the person that doesn't suck, so that they can like leech off of it, right? So if you're a winner in this world, you're going to be hated. And the more you win, the more hate you will generate. So it comes with the territory. And the trick is to starve them of the profit. So losers want to get clicks and interest and drama by attacking winners because they can't generate the traffic on their own just by being winners on their own. So they have to try and generate from a side channel. And the best way to punish people for being drama queens and trying to ride your coattails is to just ghost them. Cut off all communication, ghost them, pretend they don't exist. Then they can go and try and get traffic the normal, honest way by winning and being useful and having utility instead of the drama, tear down, bullshit way. So like my position on drama is to not participate in it. You just delete, cut out. And to tell you the truth, like if you had high standards to start with, you shouldn't be interacting with losers at all anyway, you know? And if that means that you're a very lonely dude and you ain't talking to nobody, well then that gives you still some space to interact with winners. But if you're interacting with losers and you think losers are your team, man, you're gonna have loser problems, dude. So, you know, I made a mistake interacting with people that throughout my whole life weren't winners, and it's cost me a lot. You know, every time you interact with someone that has less than you do, there's a chance that they're trying to take from you. I don't need taken from anymore, dude. Like, I give enough. I don't need people to take even more. I don't think Two Live Crew was that good lyrically. They did have some pretty sick ass beats though. I don't really listen to recent rap. I think Starboy sounds alright. I don't know. Have you ever suspected that one of your friends peed in your swimming pool? I've never had a swimming pool. I've been in places that had swimming pools. Describe Roger Ver with 3 words. Owns Bitcoin.com, 1 word, cheating at the end. Yeah, I wish Outkast would keep making music. That'd be great. Describe Roger Ver with one word. Roger. What longevity tech funds do you recommend investing in? I guess just the biotech index for now, but hopefully I can come up with a better answer for you at some point. Send an email off to sends.org and ask them and see what they come up with. They have better opinions on it than I do. Should I buy lithium? I don't understand what that means. Is that like the medicine? Is that like the metal you put in batteries? Are you speculating on a rare earth metal? I'm so lost. I didn't think about that. I can take these off. I never use them. I'm unscrewing my keyboard right now. Probably sounds terrible to you guys. Look, it's an aluminum foot with a little pad on it, and I don't need it, so I'm taking it off. We're going lightweight. We definitely need more smart people to breed right now. Dumb people breed at 10x the rate of smart ones. Future looks dark. Whatever. Stupid people generate smart people too. It's just lower quantities. Lower percentage-wise. In the case of 3200 Kelvin phosphor white LEDs, the phosphor added shape to the spectral distribution by enhancing certain colors in the spectrum to simulate the spectral distribution of incandescent. Yeah. So there's a CRI, which means color rating index or color rendition index, and none of the LEDs or CFLs or other fluorescents has a 100 on that measurement. And even if they did, it would still be weird and different. So it's going to be a long time before anything's better than straight up halogen. I mean, the best technology for LEDs currently is to remove the phosphor reactive part from the actual like UV generating part, where they're kind of separate. And then you can change out the phosphor plate for different ones. Very expensive. Describe Roger with 9,001 words. No. Yeah, I turned on like the language filter and stuff to reduce trollage, so YouTube automatically holds bad language comments and stuff. I'm letting the AI help me deal with the limited utility of some humans. Thoughts on 2x split. Give me replay protection of free coins. Thank you. Somebody says, good night, guys. Great stream. Thank you. What do my clothes cost? I'm not really sure. If there's a big war, will the price of Bitcoin go up or down? Not sure. It really depends. When all the Bitcoins are mined, that's impossible. All the Bitcoins will never be mined. It's asymptotically. Go Google what an asymptote is. Have you listened to, read about, or from Glenn Gould? If so, no, I don't know. Meditation really works, I guess. I've already handled the Bcash question. Imperial or metric? Metric. Big Pun's son, Chris Rivers, is dope if you like rap. I'll check it out. If you want to have some incandescent bulbs, you can get some in Russia. You can get them a lot of places. It's not that big a deal. I could just switch to candles too. Like, I'm all right with just switching to candles. It's even better. Candles are even better than incandescent lights, in my opinion. And I've got the equipment to do it. So I'll be the only guy that can do it because everyone else's equipment can't work in candlelight, but mine can. To really understand Bitcoin, you need an IQ over 110. Maybe. Yeah. But you don't need to understand how your computer works to use it, or your phone. Like, you can use a lot of stuff that you don't understand. Red light simulates cytochrome C oxidase, which is central to energy production at the cellular level, which is one of the reasons why incandescent light bulbs are healthier. Cool. Do you think Western governments can even ban Bitcoin? Large Bitcoin companies would fight in court. Yeah, probably. And they probably win too. So no, I don't think well-functioning governments will be able to ban Bitcoin. You need a whole lot of candles to light only from it? No, I wouldn't actually. I could demo it for you. I'll demo it for giggles. I'll show you guys. I'll have a candlelight stream with you guys right now, just to show the power. I'll be right back. Maybe I'll pee too. Nah. I'll show strength. just do the candle lights. What this looks like. Ooh, well, hello there. Don't know too many other people that can stream with just candlelight. Here we are. Look how bright the candle is. That's how good my hardware is. Lol. Let's take a look here, chat. Tell us your tokens pitch. Nah, you can go watch the Ozzy interview. There's a link in the, I guess I'll send you a link. No, whatever. Just Google Richard Hart, Ozzy, and then if you look in the comments, there's a timestamp to the token talk. Might be like 40 minutes, 20 minutes in. If when governments, banks issue their own cryptocurrencies, do you think people will stupidly follow these trusted entities as they do with politicians? I don't know. I do not know. I can only know so much. Man, this looks pretty good. I don't have a problem with the way this looks at all. And I didn't have to do all that sweating. Hold P coin. Yeah. Candle coin. Don't set your hair on fire. Good point on that. This looks more creepy. Love it. Thank you. Did I buy my house from Vincent's Price? Lol. Yep, that's right. 4K candlelight. You let me know who else brings it. I like doing things better than other people. My stream is better. My audio is better. My set is better. My content is better. And I like doing everything better. So I wrote a book about doing things better. And it contains a million little ways to do things better. You need to work some comedy into my streams? Yeah, I could, right? I could. But it just isn't, I don't know, convenient. Like, I need a trigger. I need something to be funny about. They say the candlelight does look better. All right. Sweet. What makes me laugh out loud? If you go to 4chan and read their biz forum, the Wojaks that are all being tortured from people's shitcoins going to zero are hilarious. The pink Wojaks that are like being annihilated and tortured in a million different ways as their bags go down to zero is so funny. So if you like memery and funny and you like crypto, 4chan biz is goddamn funny. Real funny. All right, if we don't get any good questions in here, I'm just gonna shut the stream down and chat with my followers in Discord and Telegram. So I better get a good ass question within the next minute here. Do I like Penn Jillette or just Penn and Teller? I think Penn Jillette gave a very good piece of advice when he said that you should do the thing that only you can do. So you're the only one that can spend time with your family in the way that, you know, they want to spend time with their offspring. And you might be the only one that could do the Penn and Teller show. So you shouldn't spend your time doing things other people can do, like playing games. Everyone else could have played that game, right? So that highest and best, or at least uniqueness of action, was something that I think Penn Jillette presented very well. And I think some of his positions on libertarianism and gun laws and video game rights are quite good. So I respect a lot of his positions. Now, as usual, he's got some I don't, but for the most part, I think he's on point. What do you define as a good-ass question, Master Richard? That's why we have chat here. If I could have just spoken to this camera alone. It's more boring. It's more weird. I prefer to get interaction. Have I read anything by Nassim Taleb? Yeah, his stuff's pretty cool. I mean, I agree with most of it, but it's got things I don't agree with too. How do we advert the upcoming financial correction? There might not be one, bro. They might just keep inflating forever, and then the rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer, and there won't be a correction. That's possible. So there doesn't actually have to be one. We could just inflate until revolt. It's an option. Can you explain the pink Wojak meme? You can't really explain any meme. So people just try things, and they either work or they don't work. The vast majority don't work, and some do. The ones that do become memes, not because they deserved it, they just did, right? It's like my George the Fish story. If you try and understand the pink Wojak, you'll try and understand why I wrote George the Fish. You'll always be wrong. Yeah, Jordan B. Peterson's right about everything except Christianity being the highest and best game theoretical winner of all possible games system. It's just not accurate. So it works well, however, it's not the best, and I think I can find something that gets the game theory better. So, he's close to right about everything. He just he misunderstands the game theory a little bit on the religion thing. But all of his social justice warrior stuff's on point, being productive, knowing there's risk, knowing that the world could enter a bad state and we should fight against it. Like all that stuff he's totally accurate about. If crypto exists, what are the things you'd be looking into in order to be financially free? Well, I made a video about it, literally, on how to get rich. And I explain exactly how to do it, exactly the same way that I did. You go on Alibaba.com or Banggood.com, you look at the best sellers. People are selling them. That's why they're best sellers. You buy them, you stick them in your house, and then you put out ads for them marked up. That's it. And you keep doing that for more products and put out ads more places. Done. But people are such pussies that they never make their order. And then they never place their ads. And then they're never in business. Somebody says, I need a tan. Nah, I'm good. Thanks, though. Do you recommend joining the Army after college? Nope. Unless, you have to. Depends. Are you it does make sense for some people, but not most. How many aliens have I talked to? None. I've talked to illegal aliens. It's not illegal to be a human. That's straw man. What's your thoughts on nice guys finishing last? Well, Warren Buffett seems to be a nice guy. He ain't last. So there's a difference between being a nice guy and being a guy that gets walked over. So you can be an honorable, good, strong person. Or you could be an honorable, good bitch. The bitch gets walked on, and the strong person doesn't. So it doesn't have anything to do with your goodness or badness so much. I think bad guys finish last for the most part. So, you've got a whole system of people that want to fuck you up. So you're more likely to get fucked up. I mean, it seems to make more sense to be maximally good wherever you can. Here comes a good question, I promise. All right, I'll wait. Yeah, somebody asked about the token launch thing again. Go watch my video with Ozzy where I describe why all token launches suck and then why mine will be different. I guess I'll find that link now since it's the second time I've been asked about it. I think it's pinned in the Discord, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Let's take a look. There it is. That's good organization for you. I'm going to give you a link to why different and why token and all that shit. There you go. I think it's... Oh, it does let me post links. Good. Blonde or brunette? Blonde, by far. Take the shirt off. Pay me. more than you've got. What's your view on soul? Your soul is simply the set of behaviors that you are most likely to perform in the future. And those are influenced by whether you're alive or dead, whether you're crippled or not, whether you're under the influence of drugs or not, whether you've been brainwashed or not, whether you've become mentally ill or not. And so your soul really is the meat. The memory is the meat. And they are not separable. And anytime you think that your soul is separable from you somehow, endure great pain and watch your thoughts change and disappear. So anytime you think you have a soul, have someone put you in an arm bar and start twisting until the soul goes away. So people derive benefit from thinking that they're super, super important and snowflakey and special. But in reality, we're just benefiting from that false belief. In reality, our souls are the set of likely future behaviors that we'll have. And they're easily variable. And you can vary other people's souls by advertising. So, or you can put enough lead in the water that they go crazy. Soul is overrated. Sounds good, feels good. You're supposed to want to love it and believe in it. And you care about yourself more and are more proactive about yourself by thinking you have one and it's great. But technically, you do not. Should I pimp out my bitches for BTC or USD? BTC. Well, do the math. USD if you can buy more BTC, BTC if you end up with more BTC. I'm long BTC. So soul equal brain? No. You would still, I don't know, maybe. How related is brain to behavior? Pretty related. It's a poorly formed question. I'd rather see the question formed differently. Do you believe we landed on the moon? Yes. Because we did. If you had the power to make people do something that you know is good for them, but they don't want to do it, would you? Yep, I would. Richard's token versus Kim's token. I choose me. Do you think acting 100% randomly can lead to a better life? You're asking a question so stupid means that you're already fucked. I'm sorry, man. It's over for you. You're done. Somebody says energy is never destroyed, only transferred. The soul goes on. Okay, buddy. Have you heard about the world's first head transplant? Yeah, that's not happening. Do you think the U.S. government is hiding something from the people or what? Yeah, they hide all kinds of things. That's why they have different levels of clearances, right? And then they hide everything that you're not cleared to know about. So that's a pretty stupid question. USD or USDT? I would take the USD with less counterparty risk. What do I think of Kim.com's project? I think Kim.com's a giant scammer, and that's his history. So he does things that are good for him. Making a paywall version of BitTorrent, I don't feel is a great, honorable, amazing thing. So just yet another guy doing for-profit stuff, whatever. Thanks for clearing up my soul issue, no problem. It's to make sure you count because you probably aren't going to get another chance. Yeah, you probably aren't going to get another chance because there won't be a you to get one. There was a time before you, and the time after you looks very similar to the time before. Death by fire or death by ice in terms of cosmological expansion. Doesn't matter. It's not our problem. Doesn't matter whether we have an oscillation or whether we just do heat death or whether we bump into another dimension on the way. None of that shit matters. It's somebody else's problem. You're not going to be around for it. What percentage of my net worth would you put in Bitcoin? All of it except for what you need to survive, but I'm crazy, so maybe my advice isn't that good for you. I'm okay with Bitcoin going to zero, and I'm okay with it going to the moon. So I prefer the moon. I'd have a lot more money on paper, but so, I mean, I have money, so it's different for me. Like if you have nothing, you need a lot more insurance fund. You know, you might not be able to afford to have anything in Bitcoin at all if you don't have your basics taken care of. What kind of services in the Bitcoin space are missing right now? All of them. All of them. Like what in the Bitcoin space even works well at all? Like nothing works well. It's early days. Somebody asked about Bitmain again. Somebody says the head transplant's happening. Google it. Okay, no, it's not happening, right? Just because you like Velcro on somebody else's head to someone else doesn't mean that you can make the fine, intricate connections required to get the nerves to connect up, right? And so what you have is a resolution problem. We don't have the mechanical resolution to connect all the nerves to where they need to connect to. And since we can't do that, it can't work because of the resolution problem. It's like, it would be like you without tools trying to write really small text. You need a very fine point to do it, period. And we don't have those points for surgery yet. Richard, I got a girl pregnant. What should I do? Be a father? What do I think of Peter Schiff? He sells gold marked up. He wants you to buy a bad investment that he makes margin on. He's always wrong. Fuck him. I couldn't care less. Thoughts on AI? Yeah, it could solve everything or it could kill us, so it's worth keeping an eye on. What do you think about the death penalty? I don't know. Because it usually rarely gets carried out, it ends up being life in prison anyway, so that metric kind of changes my thoughts on it. If it could be effectively carried out, I'd be 100% for it. I'd be like, oh, look, you're almost always going to be more risk than reward, so either go live on this island in exile and we keep you on that island, or we just kill you. Seems reasonable. I'm utilitarian, you know, so if people are always going to be harmful, it's not really in my interest to see them be able to do more harm. It's not like we have a shortage of other humans that could replace them. There's a lot of other people that would step up and do the work. Quantum computers. We ain't got no quantum computers, buddy. We got like a couple little science projects where people are trying to figure out how to even program them properly. You don't got to worry about quantum computing for a long time. Are you still buying? I assume you mean Bitcoin. Why wouldn't you be buying Bitcoin? It's going to the moon. Wall Street's not here yet, right? So if Wall Street's not here yet and they're coming, why wouldn't you be super duper all in? What do I think of John Searle's, or Searle's, or I don't know how to pronounce that dude's name, assertion that the mind is not equal to the brain? Since when we describe the brain, it does not include thoughts and feelings. I think you should watch Daniel Dennett's There Is No Hard Problem of Consciousness presentations, and his position is the same as mine, in that it's just a fantasy that you describe a thing as a thought and therefore think it's magical when they're really just possible behaviors. Like there's no magic to it at all. The human being works fine without these things that you're describing, these meta phenomena. How does it feel that Roger Ver made me famous? What are you talking about? How did Roger Ver make me famous? My videos had 40 and 30K views due to me paying to advertise them when I was doing self-help only before the Roger Ver interview, which had like 50,000 views. So I don't think Roger Ver did make me famous. I think making really good content over a decent period of time made me, quote, famous. And I also don't think having 7,000 followers is even remotely close to any sort of fame whatsoever at all. So here we have a question with compounded stupid things in a row. One, that I am famous, which I'm not, maybe in this little pocket of the world, perhaps. Two, that Roger did it, which he didn't. Yeah, Your question's terrible and you should feel bad. Do you foresee a premium in the future for old Bitcoins sold along with private key? No, because people won't trust you to not use the private key and steal them back. That's silly. You have to transfer them. I guess OpenDime might solve that, so you could look into OpenDime. Maybe antique coins could have some value then, but it's bad for fungibility, so I'd hope that not turn out to be the case. Fungibility in a currency is super important. Apparently in 5 years we're going to colonize Mars. Doubt it. Could Bitcoin become an interplanetary currency? Sure. But why would you care? Like, these fucking dreamy questions here. Why don't you guys ask me about Star Wars versus Star Trek? It would be more interesting, more fun, and as equally useful. Carl Roberts says, please say my name, Richard. I will then be a winner. Seinfeld or Friends? I didn't like either of those shows. So I'm just going to be like neither. I don't like the sitcom format, really. It's fake laughing and bullshit. It's not my thing. You are not famous, someone says. I'm glad that you can look at this very small number of followers and indicate that it is very, very small. Yep, I agree with you. Yes, a very small number of followers is not fame, yes. Have you read Denial of Death by Ernest Becker? No. Bitcoin, somebody said I paid for Roger Verviers. Yeah, I published all this on Twitter already. I published my AdWords account statistics. I published my video statistics. And I published my contemporaneous reporting of the poor performance of those marketing investments, which all occurred like in January to like maybe March or something. So people like to say a lot of false, lying bullshit for some reason. And then I just come out with the data and crush them like the little scumbags they are. It's easy for me because I have the data. Crazy, really. Like I don't understand why people say stupid shit. Like if I paid for views, wouldn't there be a lot more? Like isn't 40 or 50k views not even that much? Shouldn't you be able to buy that for pretty affordably? I mean, it's so fucking stupid. You can tell these people have no experience marketing anything at all. Am I holding BCC? I don't know. I like tire of like, how much money do you have? Where's your money? How much money do you have? Please let me follow you on trades. All this bullshit. Like, growing weary. I wrote a guide on how to sell your BCC at 0.19. It's currently trading at like 0.10. So be a smart fuck and go on my Twitter and follow my guide. Stop asking me stupid questions. Ferengis cold pressed latinum. Yes. Those Ferengis had huge ears. Yeah, Star Trek beats the living shit out of Star Wars. Like, no question whatsoever. In Star Trek, people actually get hit with phasers. Star Wars, them little blasters, man, they just can't seem to ever aim. Somebody says my 7-hour stream was epic. Thank you. No, I think I've read parts of the Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, but I've never read the whole thing. Show us your Lambos. Got any other keyboards with a built-in pointing stick? Yeah, a lot of them actually. I've got a lot of them. What's my private key? Thanks. What are my thoughts on, you like my thoughts on Bitcoin? Thank you. If not for crypto, what would I be doing? I'd be finishing my Sci-Vive book, trying to get people to save their own lives. So book 1 is things you can personally do. Book 2 is things that are good for the planet, like interest rates, cooperation, politics. Step 3 is the Save Your Assets Fund, Save Your Ass Fund. that does a subset of the biotech index, which might save you, and then startups in the space like a synthetic biology accelerator, startups. That's like the path, and then tokens got in the way, basically. So now it's going to be tokens, and then book 1, book 2, index fund, startups. And I might be able to make token part of all of those, which would be cool. We had one funny question in chat, but since it's drama oriented, I'm not even going to address it. Spend 2 weeks, I am going to address it because it's funny. Spend 2 weeks with Vinny Lingham talking about Civic, or 1 day with someone vastly worse and less productive. I'd rather hang out with Vinny, no doubt. I'd rather learn all about that project, because it turns out that my enemies are way more useful than my friends. My enemies are way more useful than my friends. Not my real friends, but the ones that, exist on the interweb. What's the best marketing strategy for Bitcoin, in your opinion? People talking good stuff about it, and the price going to the moon seems to work. Did you see Star Trek Discovery? Is that the new series that came out on Netflix? I haven't, but maybe I'll watch it today. May I please have some of your startup tokens? Oh, God. What do you think will be the effect of a massive move towards centralized trading? Well, there won't be. It's going to be decentralized, especially since some countries are banning ICOs and stuff. Like, decentralized been in the works for a while without a good reason to have it, but now there's a good reason to have it. It's going to be in the works even more. Is my candle dead yet? I have to check on my... God, that's bright. All right. That is really, really bright. Candle. All I need now is some sexy women in bikinis randomly walking in the background. I wouldn't be surprised if that did occur. That is very likely to actually happen. Not now, but soon. Do you agree on analog photography better than digital? No. No, I do not. I believe digital is better than analog. Times have changed, man. The post-production, so much easier in digital, my God. You lit the wrong candle? Yeah, but this one's easier to replace, so I'm okay with it. And it's already really bright on this side of me because it's the side the monitor's on. Tell us something we don't know about you. I'm a pretty good dancer. I guess nobody knows that. Now they do. All right, I'm bored of your questions now. I'm gonna go chat with the people in my Discord and my Telegram. I'm gonna drop the links again. And then if you guys wanna chat, you can come say hi. So here comes the links. See if there's anything else. Somebody asked what happened in Panama. I went there really rich, and I left really not rich because I got the shit robbed out of me. And when you get robbed, the people that want to keep your stuff, they don't want you to prosecute them. They don't want you to testify. And so they create as much drama and threats as they can to make it so that you don't testify and try and get your stuff back. So it didn't work. I didn't give a shit about the threats and the drama. I testified anyway, and then I never saw anything back. And that was like 12 years ago. So maybe I'll get lucky and one day something good will happen and I'll get some of my stuff back. But as it stands, all there is some criminals that found it profitable to say bad things about me as the victim. And then, because the internet's full of fucking retards, I get to be victimized some more through character assassination on top of, the harm that was already done financially. So basically the internet's full of assholes. And if you were at the Boston Marathon bombing, when the internet decided to figure out who did it and caught all the wrong people, it sucks a lot. The internet, it gives and it takes. And depending on how the game's set up, it can take a lot more than it gives. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Great stream. Thank you. Yeah, look, if you want to talk about like getting robbed in the third world, all you have to do is ask any gringo that's moved there. You ask any gringo from America that moves to any third world place, and they're going to tell you how they got fucked by corruption and theft, period. Because you ain't on their team, right? You show up, and a lot of people are going to smile and, make friends with you. And all they're thinking about is how they're going to grind you up into meat and eat you and cash you out. And so when everyone tells you, don't move there, don't move there, don't move there, and you Google and you're like, it's great, it's no problems. You're reading the wrong magazine. So if you read one magazine, everything looks great, and that's what the tourists read. But then there's this other magazine where it shows what's really going on, and it has the dead bodies pictures, right? And when you read that magazine that the locals read, you realize, oh shit, this place ain't what it's advertised to be. And, they don't make up these numbers about what places are corrupt and what places aren't by inventing them out of thin air. These are real measurements that you can make on corruption. If you move to a corrupt place, you are going to get fucked. And the richer you are, the more fucked you're going to get. So, it's not really out of the ordinary. It's par for the course. If you read the right magazines, you'll see it happening to everybody in every third world country. So I wish I were smarter. I wasn't. It's fine. Everything's turned out okay. All right, guys. I'll see you in the chat. I'm going to find the stop stream button here.